How about I say welcome back this time, assuming they've watched all the other videos?
Yeah.
Because, welcome back. This is No Stress Job Scheduling. I'm Jared Dahl, Development Manager of the Skybot team. And today we're going to talk about monitoring the mayhem, or basically kind of keeping track of the schedule that you've set up. First type of monitoring is manual monitoring, which basically means you're taking someone and having them sit and watch the jobs run, watch the statuses come rolling in, watch things get moving. And this is a really bad thing because it's a waste of time, because most of your stuff is going to work. I can see that people will do it during a trial phase when they're first learning a product, but after you get past that, you don't really want to sit and monitor your schedule manually anymore. The second thing I want to talk about, automated monitoring. Okay, this is really where you want to be. And there are three different types of automated monitoring. The first one is job status monitoring. That means you're watching those jobs run and watching the various states that they go through. So, for example, let's say you had a job that you wanted to know when it entered a job queue for an agent. You would set a monitor on that job to say, when the job hits this particular state, I want to be notified. Okay. The second type is job runtime monitoring, and job runtime monitoring has really two kind of subclasses: overruns and underruns. And it really boils down to an overrun means your job is taking a significant amount of time longer than you expect it. So a job that usually runs in a half hour, you could set up a monitor, and if it runs for more than an hour, you want to be notified, because sometimes that some of the resources might be locked and the job is sitting there waiting, and someone needs to go out to the machine room and shut something off so that your job can access the resources and get moving again. With an underrun is more insidious, and what you're seeing with an underrun is some other part of your process didn't work correctly. So in an example, let's say data wasn't brought from the database and put into the flat file that your job needs to process. So the file is just sitting there empty. And so when your process runs, it completes in 2 seconds. You know that this process usually takes about 45 minutes. But if it runs in 2 seconds, you know that that upstream process did not work correctly. So this is a really good thing. It helps you with kind of debugging those common problems that you run into because of your varied environment. The third part there is job submission monitoring. And this really has to do with jobs that are either don't have a set schedule, like jobs that are purely event driven, but they would generally happen around 2 o'clock, or jobs that have a schedule but also have event driven components. Okay, so that's the second part. And I said or, which implies two, but there's a third. The third one is you've got a busy job queue, and your job gets submitted to the queue, but it hasn't started running yet. And these are cases when a lot of times jobs are critical and important, and they take a fixed amount of time to complete, and they need to start at a certain time or within a certain time of being submitted. Okay? So the third part of this is, what do you do in reaction? Well, there's two things we've got on here. The first one is to kick off another job. So in reaction to some of these events, you might want to kick off another job that will, in essence, either clean up the problem and restart your job, or do some sort of third-party notification that perhaps your scheduler doesn't handle. The second one is, of course, a subset of that, is notify someone. Now, most job schedulers will come with an email notifier. More and more, we're seeing nice push notifications up into the cloud, so that your cell phone will has a little app and will get a notification right away as soon as something fails. All right, so I just talked with my learned colleagues, and they said you missed one. And the thing we missed was kill the job. And in that case, it would really be an overrun, and if something is running way past the boundary that you've set, these database jobs have to be done by 2 o'clock, because there's a whole new load of jobs that are going to be coming in from the finance department that absolutely are higher priority than these. And if they're not done at 2 o'clock, we want to kill it. that's another reasonable expectation for your scheduling software. All right, so that kind of wraps it up. So don't manually monitor. Use your automated monitoring stuff, and use the reactions appropriately, because this can save you a lot of time, a lot of effort in debugging if you have this set up in advance. All right? See you next time. Thank you.